Now, it's time for us to get to know our guest anchor much better. Elizabeth Wakesho Marami. She is the first ever female marine pilot in East Africa. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And thank you for this. Hey, I never thought I would wear this.
It looks really good on you.
No, you look really, really great.
Oh,
I wish you had uniform for reading news. If it looked that good.
Oh, trust me, it gets monotonous.
So, everyone is asking, so what does a marine pilot do?
Well, what a marine pilot does is when vessels come into the harbor, when they reach the Kenyan waters, they are not, the captains cannot bring in the ships on their own. A pilot has to go out and navigate the vessel.
A Kenyan pilot?
Yes, a Kenyan pilot has to go out and navigate the vessel because they're more conversant about the channel, the dangers, the shallow waters, and they know the path better.
Right.
So usually you're taxied out to the small pilot boat, and then you get to board the vessel, the ship outside in the high seas at the port entry, and then you navigate safely the vessel until you berth it.
What?
Yes.
That sounds like a lot of work. How long does it take for you to train? I know you went to, is it Egypt?
Yes.
For training? Tell us a bit about that.
Ideally, you have to be licensed as a merchant mariner first, and your first phase is whereby you go to school. I did a degree program, but you can always start with a diploma depending on your grades. I did a degree program, and I did with 12 months at sea. Okay, well, yes, 12 months working at sea.
What does that mean? Like, you do not come on
land, you stay?
No.
Okay.
I would go insane.
Yeah.
No, you're on and off, and of course you're going from port to port, so you at least get to have some sanity and seeing some land. So I was there for 12 months. I did 12 months training as a cadet. Yes, and I did a degree BSc Nautical Technology, and then I searched for international examination now to license me. After all the theoretical work, you now sit for the international exam because your license is usually international. Like right now I can go and be employed on Maersk or other shipping lines as a second officer because I haven't yet accumulated to become a full captain.
Right.
Yes.
And you see that the question is, why a marine pilot? You know, when you grow up, you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. So how did it occur to you that you'd want to pursue this type of career?
Ideally, as I was growing up, I had one dream, and my dream was to be different. I wanted to do something unique. I really thought about everything. I even thought I could write a bestseller. Who knows? Maybe.
I think you will.
Who knows? Yes. You know. So I really tried to push myself, but then I did not stray away from my books because I knew eventually that would get me there.
You're an A student, actually. A student. No joke. Beauty and brains.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so I went to school and I did my best. And yes, I did I tried to do my level best, thanks to my parents. And I got to get an A, and I was called to do law by job admission. But then I was still not content, as much as it was a professional course, but I still wanted to do something different. So when I was approached with the scholarships on that there was marine piloting that I should apply, it was just a game of chance. What? But it sounded different and unique, and I was thinking, this is what it's different. I really don't know what it's about, but let me just venture and see what it's about. So when I ventured, I deferred my law degree because definitely I did not know what this was about. And once I got into it, I loved it. And
so
here I am.
There's something I was reading about you, and you have to birth, you had to birth and unbirth, is it 500?
Yes.
500 ships?
Well, what happens is for you to be conversant with the channel, you're given a set target to meet up to be a senior pilot, because right now I go with a senior pilot. Ideally, what you do is when you board the vessel, the senior pilot just sits back and you do everything. But when I'm confident enough and I want to do it and I've logged my 500 vessels, then I go, I go on my own.
That's many vessels.
That is very many vessels, and it really depends on the traffic at the port. Yes.
All right, so you've told us about how you came to want to, to be a marine pilot. You wanted to be different, you dared to be different. And I salute you for that.
Oh, thank you.
And the thing is, what do you love most about being a marine pilot?
What I love most about being a marine pilot, it's very adventurous, and I get to meet different kind of people. Every single day you encounter a different vessel, a different captain from a different nationality, and it has really made me who I am today, because I've been able to relate with everyone from any kind of area, yes, across the world, because there are those that you would be a bit skeptical, but then I've learned how to work with them.
Right.
So.
And I'm interested about people who are skeptical when they see you, and you look so young, and someone would wonder, like, really, that she's the one who's coming to steer us in the, right to the birth. And even before you answer that, how is it being the first female, and right now probably the only female marine pilot in East Africa? How do you carry, that achievement?
Well, let me start with the last question. I would say that how I carry that achievement is my driving force.
Right.
It's what makes me get up in the morning and go to work. When I feel that I'm going to despair, because it's not easy, when you're trying to break gender barriers, but then that driving force where I have broken these gender barriers and I have to make the path better for the women who come before me now, that becomes my driving force. So the challenges are actually what has made me. Yes.
Do you get to meet people, and especially the men from different countries, like you mentioned, who look at you and first of all they're skeptical? Before they trust you, it takes time. Do you ever encounter such challenges?
Yes, I actually have encountered such challenges, but then I honestly owe it to all the male senior pilots who have been boarding with me, because at any time one is skeptical, first thing they tell them is, they pep talk me and tell me, you have to be confident. Then when we board, if there's any skepticism, they're always quick to say, she can do the job, okay? So let her do the job. Your vessel is not the first job. So they have so much faith in me that it makes me become a better person by the day. Yes.
And are there days that you have, what would be a bad day for you? Because a bad day in the newsroom would be like, you've not gotten this story, you've not gotten this interview. But for you, what is a bad day, being a pilot, a marine pilot?
What would be, I think a bad day would be encountering a captain who really is not willing, who has zero faith in what you're doing. Now that would be a bad day, because you're not in a very conducive environment, and you're really trying hard to be your best, and that is really one of the bad days. But really, it's, as I say, you grow thick skin by the day.
As you said.
Yes.
And is this a career that you'd encourage many young women looking at you to get into, now that you're probably the only one? I don't know if there are many more who are in training right now.
Oh yes, in fact that has been my goal. I have dared to dream, and I'm living my dream. And I believe many people, it's the 21st century to have a first female, but I believe it's because people do not know about the whole maritime sector. So I'm trying to take it upon myself to visit young girls and talk to them about the maritime sector and encourage them, and hopefully in the near future I could get support, because going to college to do the maritime career is a bit expensive. So normally it's dependent on scholarship. So I'm hoping in the near future I can even establish a foundation whereby I can be able to get more women. And of course there are other two ladies who are training, one to become a marine engineer, and one who just became a second officer.
All right.
Yes.
What is the one thing that you feel you have to achieve in your career, looking into the future?
Looking into the future, the biggest thing I think I need to achieve is to become a full captain. And this reason being is I need to have to accumulate about 18 months sea service. And we are crippled as a country because we do not have vessels that are sailing on our own flagship, so it's really hard, because now if I want to go and gain that sea time that will make me go higher in rank, I have to go out and source for sea time on other foreign vessels, and of course they'll have priority for their own. And yes, so that is, I'm looking towards breaking, to eliminate that as a problem in the country, and hopefully I'll be able to do it. I know it's
no,
look
you
at me laughing.
No,
Yes,
definitely
so that in the long run we at least can if not own our own vessels, or have vessels that are being chartered and sailed on our flagship, we then can have maybe government can have memorandums of understanding with other vessels, and your training becomes smooth, because there's no point of encouraging a young girl to join and then they get stuck and not raised in rank, you know.
And I want you to do something for me. We're just about to wrap up things. Then we can get to the fun stuff. I want you to look into that camera, I think camera 1 and camera 2, and just speak to, because there's so many young people who had so many questions, you know, texting me and asking, what does it take, even if they don't want to be a marine pilot like yourself. You know, women who, or young ladies who've been crippled, like you mentioned, with certain aspects, maybe cultural, you know, issues, such that they do not feel like they can rise to the rank and be whoever they want to be. So speak to them.
Well, I will speak to you, young girls, ladies, from young girls to the older women. I don't think there's any point in life that you should ever feel discouraged, as long as you're putting your work in it. Because I did not wake up and become a success. I have had a number of times I've failed, but then I did not decide to sit back. Yes, there will be societal issues, there will be cultures that are going to hinder us and make us feel crippled, but then I believe if you believe in yourself and dare to dream, and above all, work hard, I mean, the man upstairs is always watching. God is always there, you know. It will come to pass, you know. You will be able to achieve whatever you want. Believe in yourself. And we out here, Betty and I, are going, and other women who have at least broken barriers and done something good, will be able to help you and encourage you and mentor. So, ladies out there who have made it, let's mentor the young girls and ask them to be someone
who run the world.
Girls!
All right, so let's walk to the news desk. For this, I know you told me you've been waiting for this moment.
I know.
So she has been waiting for this moment. As we do this, you know, there's so many questions, especially, you know, our brothers out there asking, so is she single? Are you seeing anyone, you know, with so many hours in the sea? Do you get a chance to, you know, have a social life? And are you dating? Are you seeing anyone right now?
I do have a social life. I do, however, like living my private life very private. No, I'm not married. And no, I'm not engaged. No, I don't have babies. But we shall cross that bridge. It's not that I'm saying I do not want to. Oh, definitely. I hope one day to have a family. Yeah, so, but at the moment, my focus is to achieve one step at a time. Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, I hope you've heard the many people who are asking. So I want you to, this is the camera that you will be using. This is just a backup. So introduce yourself, give it some oomph, and then take it away. Slowly, easy, enjoy.
My name is Elizabeth Wakesho Marami, and I'm about to read to you the news this evening on Friday Briefing. It was an early Christmas for residents of Losogwa village in Nyahururu after KWS rangers shot dead a hippo which had wandered into people's farms, and as soon as the rangers had left, the residents descended on the animal, dividing out the meat among themselves. Murimi Mwangi had with the details.
Amazing having your company. My name is Betty Okari. Have a lovely weekend. And you are?
Elizabeth Marami. Enjoy your weekend.
God bless.
God bless.
All right, see you next week, God willing. That was great.
I know.